Buscando música sin derechos de autor.
Yo, people. Good day. Sorry for the delay. I had a personal errand. Okay, that's enough. I love that song since I first heard it. I got scared by that because I didn't see something like that coming. Where's my. The controller has worked so much better for me. I don't know. Except when you have to click something, I do use the mouse. that's that's correct. That's correct. Pretentious. Oh god. So it seems like I am missing a ton of, I don't know, a ton of possibilities. And according to Seven Persona, most of them involve the bucket. Hold on, let me open some windows because right now it's kind of cold, but it's a matter of time before it gets like hot. You know? So in this one, you get actually the opportunity to say to me what I should be doing because I was thinking during the week, mostly yesterday. What am I missing? I know I thought a couple of things. I did think about a couple of things, but aside from that, I don't know. There's still quite a few that don't involve the bucket. Oh, okay. See, yeah, I would safely assume that I didn't do everything that you could do in the original Stanley Parable as of now. I do think I might be missing some. I just can't think of any. I had to kind of scheme my past stream just to get an idea what I had done because I had forgotten about it. But yeah, I remember discovering the air shaft, which was so amazing. I'm kind of glad about the order in which I did things last stream because it was like an intended order. Like first you obey everything and then you begin breaking the rules, so everything makes sense. Hold on. I need to put chat. I need to put chat here, so I can go. So I did that. So I can go full screen here. There's such. There we go. Okay, there I am. I need the chat here. Oh no, not like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I do want to know. Okay, hold on. Let me see if my controller works. Oh yeah, it does. It does. I thought it wouldn't. It wasn't, and it should because it's new. So okay, 4 major tips. The blue door does not disappear. Ah, it did. I went through it 3 times. Okay, let's head there again. Okay, but it was like a red door and there wasn't a blue one. But I thought of another thing to do there. You don't have to shut down the facility. That's the second one I thought because my first playthrough of it, like my first possibility, I put shut off. Like I shut down it. I shut that down. I want to see what happens if I do the other option. That was, I was watching my playthrough and I said, wait, what if you put yes? So I did think about that. In case that's what you mean. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, my god, I don't get that, but we'll see. You can't hang up the phone necessarily, but okay. Might one get on this, by the way. What is that? What is that? Habanarama. Streamers, a scammer is going around tipping big and then charging back and costing creators their livelihood and sense of safety. Bandung Krampus69, Blackpage Krampus69 from your communities and go into your tip PayPal settings and block the email. Thank you. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. This is one of the few that I will like. That does suck. Thank you for notifying, because I'm never aware of these things. I'll leave this open. Yeah. Why do people suck so much? Not everyone, you know, but are they banned from here? Not yet. Not yet. That's what I'm about to do right now. Hold on. I'm doing that right now. Unless 7 Persona is doing that. Also, since this is a very sensitive game in the sense of it thinks everything you could do, I want to see what happens if I leave the default time. But please, but first let me. Michael Chudik. Okay, so it's blocked on PayPal. It's blocked on PayPal. Yeah, that's important information. That sucks, man. That sucks. Right. So, you let me know about volume this time, please. Last stream, someone told me it was too low, and I was like, "Why didn't you tell me during the 5-hour runtime?" So. So let's put the default, because I would have expected from this game to know my time after my second playthrough, but it is not. Just like Pokemon, you know? So let's see. Wait, what are you doing? The first time you booted up the game, you set the time to 9:52 a.m. Yeah, that's right. Oh, so you know. That was fantastic. You did a great job with that one. But this time you simply entered 12, the default value. You didn't even try. I have to say, I am a little disappointed. Perhaps you don't think that it's worth taking the time to set the clock correctly? Do you think I would ask you to set the clock if it weren't an integral part of the gameplay experience? I'm not trying to get angry. It's just that a lot of people ignore these gameplay settings altogether. You're not like them, right? Look, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, do me a favor and actually set the time, okay? Okay, good. Glad we had this talk. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. I knew something would happen. Well, I didn't know. I wanted to try if something would happen if I set the default. Because I would have expected for the second playthrough to know the time. So awesome. I would assume that none of my settings are. Nah, all of them are okay. I'm always an inverted Y guy. That's how I grew up during my entire childhood. Some didn't have the options, so I got used to that, and now I'm not used to the normal thing. The normal thing for me is inverted. Right.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I don't know if I should skip this.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job
Well,
was
a recap doesn't hurt.
He sat at his desk in room 427
in case
and
something
he pushed
different
buttons
happens.
on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. and although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Or was he?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I unlocked an achievement called Welcome Back. I wish I could say these are trophies, but they're not. They are achievements. I hope I am excused. Well, we have the setting.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I have the same setup that the game decided for me. So I'm thinking of two possibilities, so I'm going straight to them.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, the two! Yeah, I'm missing these two. A large room, lots of boxes, and stairs, something to do with stairs. Yeah, I forgot about these two little guys. I have 4 out of oh!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I think it repeats itself, right?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
To be rich, it is... Oh, we have read this before. We have read this before. Wanna see if something in the computer. No, nothing.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked,
Aquí tenéis un
unraveled,
mensaje.
Stanley wondered in disbelief.
So,
who
7, is the
orchestrated
volume
this?
okay this time?
What dark secret was being held from him?
What was it,
What he could not have
2845?
known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss Stanley was in such a rush to get
have
through
a
the
good
story
memory.
as quickly as possible.
Okay,
he
thank you,
didn't
Seven.
even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Hey, yeah.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments
Wait.
with some calming new age music.
Oh, I thought it was a door. Yeah, I need calming new age music for... Did you get the 8888 achievement? Oh, I read about that
Feeling
one.
soothed and rejuvenated,
I haven't
Stanley
still.
calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I need to reread the achievements because I reread them after the stream, but it's been 1 week, so I'll give them a look. I need to give them a look in order to have more clues about what to do. So I'm assuming that 8888 is some code, right? I should input. Okay, I'll try that next time also.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Boom.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh man, I love this secret. It's so great.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I love the narrator. Haven't hated him for a single bit.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with
How
his
would you
boring
say
job?
that
his
message in
emotions
Mexican
had been
Spanish, though?
manipulated to accept it blindly?
Which message? How would you say that? Which message? I can translate whatever
No.
you want.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Never.
Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Aquí tenéis un mensaje especial de Yoko. But I am like having.
But here was the proof.
I am
the
giving
heart of
like
the operation.
the
Controls
Spanish
labeled with emotions,
pronunciation
happy
from Spain,
or sad,
not from
or
Mexico.
content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and
Aquí
commanded
tenéis un
from this
mensaje
very
especial
place.
de Yoko
And
Taro,
as the
but
cold
that's
reality of
Spanish
his
from Spain.
past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its
Wait.
terrible power over another human life.
Now that I'm
For he
recalling,
would dismantle the controls once and for
I
all.
never found the 5 switches. I found 4. I remember. Look, okay, let's see. I just want to explore this thing because I don't recall actually pressing all 5. Okay, so that's 3. And we have near the door we have 5. That's 5. Okay, that's 5. This is 3. And there we have 1 and 2. Oh, okay, I think I know what to do. Because up there I can see another one. That's gotta be 4. But I could never go up the stairs. However, you told me last stream that I could actually go through here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose the controversial option and then come back here.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm
Oh, I
afraid
have.
you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that
What?
this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
You're kidding.
How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Oh,
It's
man.
your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires.
Fine.
Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to
Okay,
talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I
That's
barely
true.
know where to start.
I heard something.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment
Oh,
of
this
solace
open.
before you're obliterated.
Hold on.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Oh, you did?
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go.
Go!
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Oh no, nothing happened.
But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
Bro, it would be so difficult to know what buttons to press in order. There's
goodbye,
employee for
at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
I'm pretty sure there's gotta be a combination of buttons I can do that, but that would take so many time to figure out. Okay, so that was one of the
coworkers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So it's quite obvious that there's something you can do in there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What was the other thing I was thinking about? Oh, I know. Wait. Oh. Who was it? Oh, Doug2421. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a great deal. Hope you're having a great time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Thanks for this.
Stanley knew
Thanks
it
for the follow.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, thank you so much, Doug. My viewers don't think about my hydration needs so much. Ah, right on the spot. To wash this down.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Well, okay, so here... Oh yeah, it was here, right?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps...
Hey,
we've gotten off on the
Oli!
wrong
How
foot
are you?
here.
The action is you.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
Okay, have a
fact
good
is
time.
that the
Have a good
story has
meal,
been
though.
about
Thank you.
nothing but you all this time.
Oh, I'm too late. Oh, there we go.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to
Okay,
show
so
you something
I already
beautiful.
brought the bucket
Look,
here.
let me prove it.
I remember
Let
that.
me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, so I know what to do. Well, I don't. I have an idea.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, so last time I walked through here and there's no... Oh, it's behind me.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
I
Broken
was,
rooms,
I'm sure.
exposed developer textures.
Oh, there's
Is this
something
what
there.
you wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that?
Oh, and
Because
there's
I
something
did.
there also.
And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
I love it doesn't have a handle. Okay, well, I mean, this is... Yeah. Oh. Wall. Office space. Alternate. Office space.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
We have 5 options. I don't know if each option activates something or... No, I don't... I wouldn't think that there are 5 endings in this branch. So... I know that each option will activate a certain response. What should I do? Should I trigger again? Well, in some countries, you know, 1 is the best answer because it's like the best experience, and in other countries the statistical scale of 5 is the best experience, so let's go with 1. Let's see what happens.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
Oh, really?
Perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh, so that means I could have done something different in the Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Did you know that 21.3% of players skip the intro sequence? How long does it take you to get to the correct door? Compete against others to improve your Stanley Parable career. You're objectively ranked 1930-28 out of 93 place. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Especially since how quickly I discovered some secrets. I'm pretty sure that's my rank. 3% of the players chose the blue door. A dead rat is offline. This is your superior. Attempted, steps taken. Hold on, I wanna read the other one. .9 of players are more attractive than Stanley. Well, he has the face of a gym, you know, so I believe that.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
What about 2?
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
There's a door right
You
there.
wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls
That's a
left
baby.
towards danger.
A real
You
life
click the
baby.
button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail.
This is
It's
a
very
baby.
meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
4
Be sure to
hours?
keep notes on your experience.
Oh, that's such a nice sound. Well, read headphone users. Yeah, he said 4 hours. Wait, does this really go that far long? You're not supposed to do this for 4 hours, right? That would be brutal torture. This is not a fan game. Okay, what if he dies?
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try.
Really?
I'm out.
4
I'm
hours?
out.
What
I'm
the
done.
hell?
It's over. Thank you
No,
for
I'm not
playing.
streaming
Your
that.
input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see.
No, I don't.
What do we
Potentially,
have
sorry.
here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
I don't
What's
know.
our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental
Firewatch.
depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
This is the kind of graphics that my computer goes nuts with. There's really a heavy lag. The Singular Mind, Red Panda Press, The Patriots, The Birds of Wyoming, Sterilex, Supplies for Two Forks, Dr. President, Space Buffs. Yeah. Fine. Okay, he literally took me to Firewatch. Minecraft would have been so much better. Minecraft would have been so much better. I cannot imagine traveling to Minecraft. That would have been so much better. It's still a meme, so can I blow them up? Minecraft is like objectively better than Firewatch. Oh man, fine. Now I am feeling the lag, but it still runs. Hey, Nameless, how are you? Good luck, HF, whatever that. Okay, etc. Okay, thank you.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Yeah, I'm
It
supposed to
is.
follow the road,
It's
right?
an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Oh, man.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
No.
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
I want out.
Okay.
I want out.
I think this will be just the thing.
Let me out. Let Stuff's Black just wanna finish the task for a fam.
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Let's get lost then. Let's phenomenally
so what
impress.
exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack.
In the original it was Portal. Oh my god.
Is this game
they really messed it up.
This is Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
They messed it up
we
with the
shall run the
updates.
bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Wait, where's the ball? Oh, there's the ball. They really messed it up with the updates, I gotta say. But Portal and Minecraft are objectively better than... Okay. Oh. Man, I need a new graphics card. Pronto! Pronto!
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Yes,
Stanley,
it actually
I have
is.
a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Oh, you liked it more with those. I
I'm going to
know
try
it, I know it.
Here comes another ball.
Another ball.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it?
No.
Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh my god. I have a lot of balls.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope
Wait.
you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end.
No,
This
wait,
is
wait,
my
wait.
game. Hold on. What are you doing?
I fail! I fail!
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Okay. Filing cabinet, working progress. Okay, so so supposedly he cannot follow me. Can I fall? I fell again. For some reason, this reminds me of the corridor in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Don't ask me why, it just came to my mind. Well, we're back to simpler graphics, so the lag shouldn't be so intense. I see the light. Oh, okay, so I should wait for his narration to end. But yeah, but when I like scored a goal, I saw, oh, I can fall off. Because I saw the ball falling. Yeah. Wait. Oh, I thought there was an exit in here, but there's not. I thought there's gotta be something here. Something important? Is it? I am a presser, you know. I am a presser of everything. But I don't see something particular. The lag in Sports Ball was insane. Okay, now we have light. Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's
Speedrun ending.
Down in
Yeah.
wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
Speedrun
Very
ending.
soon. I can wait.
Wait, can I walk? No, I can't. 1. Speedrun. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's the ending then. That's the ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I remember the fall rang once, but it didn't again. Okay, the other idea I had.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Spit bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The two collectibles are at the bottom of the stairwell and the room with bucket. Okay.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him.
Oh, there's a balloon right up
whatever
there.
the bucket asked.
There's a balloon up there. That's a nice touch.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Yeah, I've been here before, but not with the bucket.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket.
Yeah, I remember
Pick up the
this.
phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
What could it mean?
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
And his bucket.
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Beach pages. Can I turn this on? Can I turn this on? There's a headset. That's a clock that says 00. Yeah, that's the time I put. That was my input, all right. Oh, I climbed over something again. Jazz music. What? There's my bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Take me back home with you?
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me?
No.
Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk.
You don't know
All it
that.
will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Well, it depends. Don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
But you gave it to me. To ignore everyone, to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Wait, there's a computer here. Climbing on desks is really difficult in this game. Wait. Oh, it's not turning off? Really? Okay. Where's my bucket? You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press to relive this same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I
But
feel
what
some
is a
need to
bucket?
point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
To go to home to work to home to work to home. Oh, it's not working, so C.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No, no, no.
The
no, no,
candles.
What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
Ooh, the bucket is
if
in
I
my
had the
bed.
bucket, this
Sexy
would be
bucket.
less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
that was a funny one.
All of his co-workers were gone.
That was a funny one.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Oh, I didn't know
I can really feel it.
this
now.
combination.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
I didn't think
Feel,
of this.
Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Right.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
Wait,
Here we
what's that?
go. There.
Property
Now
Stanley.
it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You
Ooh,
see,
a bucket.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Oh,
That way, if you're ever
based
unsure whether the
bucket.
thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself,
This is a bucket.
"Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
I want more stickers.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us a silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in.
I
I'll
love
see
it.
you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I love how his voice sounds like he's going away. Like, by the time you're out, I'm going to continue the story. I love that kind of subtle details. I didn't open that. Did I? Did I open that? From the distance? No, I didn't. Oh, you cannot... Yeah. Can you open it from the distance? Oh, you can. That's creepy. Fine. Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, Stanley and the bucket. Okay, well, I'll try that later. Let's go down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
You've done this ending
Not
already?
strange,
Really?
Stanley thought. Usually
This
the
is new
bucket a
dialogue,
source of
right? Because
guidance
I
and
hadn't-
wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none
He's
of its
talking
familiar
about the bucket.
reassurance and
I
comfort.
hadn't gone
And
down
that's
here with the
when
bucket,
Stanley
right?
realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong.
This is-
Surely no good would come from this.
This is
Who
new
knows
dialogue.
what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad.
Bro, I'm
Where is it?
floating.
I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley, Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
This is new.
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket
there
after
are
the
many
next.
buckets.
None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley.
Wait.
Find me.
He
No.
had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old
Man,
friend.
it's
it was
full
the
of
only way to truly
buckets.
restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Oh,
It was incredibly painful.
Like
Stanley
Alien?
doubled over in agony and blacked out.
oh my God, that was great.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
I remember that.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
She's
But on
holding
this
a
particular
bucket.
day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be.
So in this universe, people
And she
depend
hugged
on
her own
buckets.
bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oh God. Oh, you were thinking about the normal ending? Yeah. But this time she has a bucket. Oh, there's a telephone.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti,
this is
get a thing of
not
sugar,
new.
some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
I wonder who she is. Oh, so maybe next time I shouldn't answer the phone. Oh, the bucket has stickers now.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
That's so sad. I want more stickers. There's definitely more space for the stickers. He's not talking again, is he? Well, no, but I'll come here the next time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Yeah, you're so right. I should have thought of this.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Oh, that's...
We'll be different
yeah.
people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Right. Last one is near the path to the vent in the lift room. Near the path to the vent. Ah, okay. Oh, wait.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
8.
It would be with him.
Oh,
always.
achievement!
The bucket would. And he knew it.
8.
The two of them were inseparable.
8. Okay, so
At
thanks
this
to
point,
pretentious.
Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah, sheer
Was it
luck.
that the bucket knew all along?
Maybe.
Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes,
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
of course it is. Wait. So I need to do the normal landing with the bucket, and that's the last thing I
elevator
can
raced
think of.
downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be
Oh
fine.
no! If many of the endings involve the bucket, I can take two
Stanley
roads
and the
here.
bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
No, my bucket! Oh, I thought it disappeared.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
The bucket is a stupid and genius idea at the same time, and that's why it works.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
That screen
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Unplugging the phone in the one room and going up and down again and again in the elevator in the boss's office. Most of everything else is just repeating previous endings with the bucket. Yeah, I thought so.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Wait. Oh.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends,
So I can
Stanley
do
and the
two
bucket,
things with
up
the
against the
bucket here.
world. They high-fived in a really cool way.
Oh, really?
The bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Let's put on first. Okay, let's put off first. No, let's put on first.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this?
I cannot see
Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Oh, birds! Silly birds! Oh man, so many decisions.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all.
Oh man!
It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, living through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Man, I love that dog. No, I wanted to see them all. Okay, so now we have to choose off.
How long was I sitting there?
Oh.
Stanley wondered to himself.
Hold on.
Minutes? Days? Centuries? The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
You know what I'm gonna do.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Hold. Wait. I love how this game fools you into thinking that because the elevator is moving, you're actually changing floors, but you're never changing floors. So I don't think anything happens.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, I wanted to get out, actually.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
I want to be
Never!
free with the
He
bucket.
squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert... Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Was it?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
No, that's
True,
not a
it
good
was a
idea.
simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
Oh, no.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley
I
square
thought I
in
had
the
fallen.
face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the
I
bucket,
wanna be
needed the
free.
soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Right. So that's
All of
the
his
end.
co-workers were gone.
Yeah.
What could it mean?
I think.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, there's a last thing I can do, I
Where are
think.
we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Okay, now both of us are gonna die violently?
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yes, we did.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket, welcome you to the grand exhibit. You're standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
25 buckets! A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks, and as a result of the euphoria from exposure to these many buckets at once. Well, that certainly seems more than 25. Can I grab the bucket? Inferno bucket! A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to work with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Bro, I want this bucket. The stress bucket and analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, and lack of reassurance. Vulnerability equals the size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equals holes. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. The stress bucket presented without commentary. Bro, I am in a bucket exhibit. Oh, look at this. And we have a new soundtrack. Cave drawing. Well, we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
I love this. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Wait. What is floor and what isn't floor? Oh, okay. But how could I walk so close to the bucket? Why am I floating? I want to grab the bucket before I fall or something. There should be a movie about a bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
This is so. Okay, what am I missing? Hey, Oli, the action is the juice.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Why are they turned on again? Hola amigos. No, no es cierto. Hola amigo. Buenas noches. Wait, can I do this with the bucket? No, I don't think it is. No, because it's only the heaven ending. I have already done that. Wait. Oh, there's the bucket. There's only one last thing I can think of.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
It's clearly being violated. There's something specific I want to do.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Very specific. How did I do this last time?
Stepping in.
There we go. There we go. Mithiel is actually trust the completionist instinct. Had I read this before? Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, to be honest. Mithiel's observation is correct. It is like you trap the narrator into the room. Do you guys know about the War of the Bucket? An actual historical war. Oh, yeah, yes. Oversimplified, did a video on it. You are now leaving. With the bucket, by the way. There was nothing here, I remember. No, you just had to climb up and up. Up and up. Up and up. Not actually aware of a bucket, but it was in the middle of it. Yeah, I went with the baby. But then 7% explained to me that I should play that for 4 hours, which I am definitely not streaming. Yeah, I fell down the goal. 7% did tell me there something happens after 4 hours. I'm not streaming that, of course. I'll try that post-stream or another day. So we can maybe start Hollow Knight. Yeah, the plan is starting Hollow Knight next. Wait, am I going down again? I should be going up. Wait. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, okay. Have a nice one, Oli. Thanks for staying. Thanks for saying hi. Oh, man. Look at this. That's so How to Basic. Did you ever guys see the How to Basic channel? That's so like to the X, you know? Oh, yeah, Celeste, I'm ready for that. I will press it, but not on stream. I will do it though. Man, this is so touching. So that's it, right? No, it's not.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, is the bucket gone forever? Edgar, wait. Okay, I'll wait. What's... What is it? Cannot go back. Edgar, you should also set up a tipping page on Stream Elements. So that room that was incredibly short, that's your cue to try to go for the regular ending speedrun. That room that was incredibly short, that's your cue to try to go for the regular ending speedrun. Ah. Which room was incredibly short?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
So you try to run to the end of the level when the hallway is incredibly short like that. I don't know which hallway.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back
There
to
are
business,
so many hallways.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't have I wanna cry. I don't have the bucket anymore.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, look at that. That's how do you get there? Oh, there's already a build. Okay. It's like there we go. I don't want to fall. Bro, just take it.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
Well, there we go.
Stanley, this is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all,
But
that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
Okay.
So, instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Based. Now, man, I so wish I could go down. But you die anyways, right? There are doors, though. And there's an exit. There's gotta be a way to go down. But I don't know how. Like, the height is still enough for me to kill me because this is the same height than over here at the vent. So, like, you got the crossroads incredibly quickly. Go left and just press the off button.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Is the bucket no longer available? Whoa!
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
What
I
is
would
this?
love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Oh, I've been here before.
Just one more time.
I've been here before. Yeah. It's the review section. Prepare for the lag, boys. When Stanley found the collectibles. The memory zone. Okay, so this is pretty much the same. This is pretty much the same. So fine, I'll go down.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Oh. Wait. No, nothing. Like. Right. Okay. To doors.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around by the red and blue doors. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
It's the same door, okay? It's the same. Boss's bathroom,
let's do a
boss's
little
office.
quiz.
Okay.
Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Oh, damn.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the
Based.
boss's bathroom. It was the third one.
I want the other
picked
one.
it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
I
I'm
want the other
glad
one.
these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Okay, we have a wall of text. Edgar Digression. I am reading the Holy Book of Hinduism, the Gita. The translator stated that the concept of liberation of soul reminding him of Jesus' resurrection. He writes, "This, to my mind, is the meaning of the Christian doctrine of resurrection. The physical resurrection of Jesus is not the important thing, but the resurrection of the divine. The rebirth of man as an event that happens within his soul, resulting in a deeper understanding of reality and a greater love for God and man, is the true resurrection which lifts human life to an awareness of its own divine content and purpose. God is perpetual captivity. Ceaseless action. He is the Son of Man, for in man is God reborn. When the veil between the eternal and the temporal is lifted, man walks with God as he directs." That's a
Let's
theological
see,
interpretation.
what came next? Oh yes, we found a figley in this pink room.
What is
well,
this pink
I can't
room?
actually say I remember being in this room,
Me
but
neither.
it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Okay, fine. Well, okay. There's a door.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was under
Is the game
stairs.
actually
I remember
doing
it
it
so
in the
clearly.
order I did it?
In
That's
fact,
insane.
because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What is this? This is so 2006, you know, from YouTube.
Takes you back then. I
was
spent a lot of
awesome.
time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
that was actually so great. Wait, I never saw that kind of thing coming. I'll give you my thoughts on it in a bit, Maythil. Bro, how did it actually? How does it, like, this is the actual order in which I got them. So how does the game do this?
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible.
Can I die?
The final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment
7%.
where you
Okay.
picked up a Figley, and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other, except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
If I fall, what happens? Magic of computer programming. It probably divides the rooms as blocks and join it together. Yeah. That's true. What happens if I fall? You don't think? You're right. I can't. I'm so disappointed. Yeah, that's true. I cannot. Yeah, fine. Whatever. Let's go to the shaft. Which is not a shaft. Oh, this is a Videodrome. You are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future.
The
Goodbye,
past.
memory zone.
Nah.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Oh, backtrack. We all love backtracking in everything.
Okay, yes. This spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
This is how an ultra
And
deluxe.
here's
edition
where I
should
made
work.
that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I would watch it again.
Yes, I love that video.
That gets me so bad. That gets me real bad. Member berries.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation.
Bro, I
Next
climbed
one.
the plant. I love climbing on things. Wait. Okay, I'm on the right path. I never went right. Nothing happens, right? No.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Twin Peaks vibes.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all. You can find them. Yeah. This was the launch of the sequel. Collectibles. Oh, the freaking jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Last week was actually nice. It was a nice Sunday.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Oh. Wait. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
The introduction.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
The menu.
Remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical.
The bucket.
I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't end here. Does it?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
Yeah.
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The final Stanley? Yeah. How are you? How are you, champ? Flavy? Hey, Fruitless, did you check the Fangames channel in your Discord? Oh, man. At what time? At what time? Replacement bucket.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Bro. I could lose it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his...
going right.
This was not the correct way to the
I know what to
meeting
do
room.
now.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I won't.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I haven't gone here with the bucket, you know. There wasn't anything here as I recall, and... Doo-dum, 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 doo-dum. There's some dialogue supposed to be activated here because I cannot do anything here. Can I? Can I? Am I really trapped? Nah, I couldn't be trapped. Yo, you used the Yoko Taro emoji. GG for that. Pretentious. What do you mean? So am I missing something? I don't remember last time. I remember. Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number...
I don't even know.
I don't even know. I've lost track.
Narrator sound system.
Nothing feels real
Evidence
anymore.
252.
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down, it doesn't
Bioshock?
make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Gamborata. Bro, I have to Google Gamborata now. That was amazing. So insane.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like?
Oh, it still goes
There
on.
was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
I think I am out of ideas, maybe? Let me think. You still have the phone and the other... Okay, so how do I do that with the phone? Okay, let's go to the phone.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay, so phone. What do I do? Yeah, I think I'm out of ideas. So you can Stanley parabole me all the way through. I don't know what to do really. The phone in the cargo lift room. Ah, okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't remember a phone, so let's look for a phone.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Phone. Phone. What phone? Is it here? Is it... You take the lift to the top? Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Oh, there's another balloon.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
That's such
someone you've forgotten about.
nice
Please,
details.
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Cannot enter there. Phone. That's another bucket. Phone. I see no phones. Go through the door.
That's her, Stanley.
Oh, okay,
You need to
okay.
be the one to do this.
Oh,
to
this
reach out to
phone.
her. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
Oh, that's so great.
That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
I love this.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another.
I remember
Music
that.
comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Oh, another video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice.
Imagine
he could invent a
playing the
machine that
game
eliminates
and being
food shortages
named Rupert.
across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic.
I haven't.
If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less?
More.
And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside.
I didn't know
At this time,
infiniteness was
your
a word.
instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Let me in. It won't. Have to go back then.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense
Oh,
at
it puts
all.
fences so
We just
that
need
you
to get
cannot
you
go
home
there.
as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay, so it actually prevents you from committing suicide because I cannot go here unless I can climb this. Can I climb this? I totally can climb this. Bro, if I could climb this, hold on. Oh man, if there was just a way to climb this. Can I climb the chair? Climbing has brought me interesting outcomes. Hold on. I'm on the chair, but I do want... No, there's no way. It's not letting me. This one is actually impossible, maybe? No, I don't think I can fall. It would be great if I fell. Wait, I wanna... There's gotta be a way, man. I don't think I can. It would be so awesome if I did. Launch.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Oh, up to the sky. Okay. That makes sense.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
But I'm
quite
Jim.
sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
This is glitched. That's all. Look at that. Oh my god, that's so twisted. It's like German expressionism right there. Bro, look at this. Everyone goes right, of course we do. It's the natural thing to do.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And
Oh,
what am I
the
supposed to
door.
do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? No, I have to. I have to shut the game down.
No.
I have to.
No. Oh, this is getting so based.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important
As
it
for
was
the game,
to be
yes,
like
potentially.
Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to.
But it's for the
He understands
trophy.
that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
What?
...is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ah, of course not.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay. Oh, what?
is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and
I got
always
scared for
putting the
that.
story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, okay, and then... Okay, it's fixed now.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, this is closed, so that's atypical. That's...
Coming
Oh, I
to a
cannot go
staircase,
down.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I cannot take any alternate routes. Yeah, this is locked. It's forcing me to the main story. This is locked too, right? Yes. Wait, can I... No, right? This will remain
Stepping
open?
inside his manager's
No,
office,
I failed.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated
Damn.
this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions.
Well, I haven't done this.
And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115.
Night Shark...
Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Yeah, now I know, Fruitless, now I know. Wait, am I actually supposed to...
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115? Okay, no, it's not working. It's not working.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
I spoke.
You didn't mishear me, did you?
Yeah.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Oh my God.
he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. Ah, the embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
What was I gonna do? Hold on. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the
Yes,
bucket
exactly,
calling to
exactly.
him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. A cargo lift, yes, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
This room leads to that door, which leads to that door. But I don't know.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Wait, but I already did this. I cannot unplug it. I have already been here with the bucket. I cannot unplug this. Can I unplug this? I've been here with the bucket answering the phone. I wanted to... I can. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things.
Are you
Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
No.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
I love these videos.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Donnie with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times. just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and
Bro,
their
this is
children
some
after
Starship
them.
Troopers
Godspeed,
stuff.
and may Earth reign supreme.
Do not reprint or distribute for educational purposes only.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind,
Yes, they
I
are.
believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay, we know what to do. That was some Starship Troopers stuff.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The King of Comedy. That's what you'll call me.
King of
Thank
Comedy
goodness
reference?
we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now? Well, I wouldn't be the King of Comedy, that's for sure. The bucket
Scorsese
spoke
De
to
Niro
Stanley.
reference.
The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
King of Comedy.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Yeah,
There
there
was
were.
supposed to be a build-up to this point.
Yeah.
A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit, which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake.
Oh,
I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling
no longer capitalized.
I think I need to go back and rewatch that
No,
instructional video again.
don't.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone.
What do you
Did you not even
mean?
look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely
Oh, the
done
broom
and
closet
over.
would be
It's
funny.
all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you
Wait.
proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are.
I so
No,
pale.
Still not... Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame. pale.
Lo bucket only.
Bucket.
¿Cómo lo
Stanley,
estás?
this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley.
Wait, I'm missing my second sticker.
I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Another video? No. Okay, so that's the ending with the bucket.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Only okay, you have a okay, so yeah. Please tell me, I'm quite clueless. I'm not doing the 4-hour ending. Of course I'm not doing the 4-hour. But I will do so off stream and I'll tell you about it. Go to the lift in boss's office and go up and down. To the lift in boss's office. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did you try clicking on door 400? Yeah, I already did that.
Yet there was not a single person here.
I discovered that by my own. I am
Feeling
so
a
proud.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
And I just discovered that by accident because I keep like hitting X all the time. So it just happened. Oh, I already went to the broom closet with the bucket also. Okay, so the lift. Okay, so you said lift in boss's office. Okay, so you mean after I activate
Okay,
the
I
code?
think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
I'm pretty sure I tried this during
Whoops,
the first place.
nope.
But no.
Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Uh-huh. Hold on, let me just explore what's...
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
I need... Okay.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me. Oh my God, it's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Oh, I thank you.
Of
Let's go down.
course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
The Infinity Hole is amazing. Amazing.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Oh, fancy. Can I go down? No, I can't. That would be too much, maybe.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
World healthiest human being. All tricks revealed. How we did it. The pyramids. Lived the guy who went to Mars. All eyes on Stanley live on stage. An evening with world peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
The man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. Stanley from the Stanley Parable tonight live on stage. A Q&A with world's first sentient machine. To
All right,
stage.
are you
Welcome,
ready?
Stanley.
I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Oh, this is great. The storyteller, Stanley reveals all in his new book. This is so self-aware. What was that the Minecraft sound effect? I wouldn't know. Only a Minecraft player would be able to tell. 427. Wait, what's that? Users big end desktop backstage number dot doc. Break a leg, champ. Stanley, my true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife from the apartment ending. I love the way you write elevators. XX. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get him, Tiger. So I'm Spider-Man now. Story. Stanley, me dad, age 6. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You're too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Break a leg. Champ your buzz again. An unforgiving account of ups as well as downs. ElCochran90. Highs and lows isn't that what life's about? Stephen, I cannot read that properly. Stephen Stairs Walker. So essentially this ending is the narrator mocking you for unpredictable storytelling. Yes. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from, your co-workers. I love these details. Oh, an audience with the dude who came up with pizza. Okay, so now with the buckets, I suppose. So the requirement for the bucket version of this is you have to mash 3 on the number pad before going up and down and mashing 3 again on the pad.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Where did I already forgot what I did. The narrator will explain. Okay. So it's the normal one.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was with Stanley. We must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining
It's the
stick.
same
Coming to a
dialogue.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
It was the boss's office? Yeah, yeah. I just suddenly forget where everything is.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing. Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator. Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Lo arriba.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet, not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing. Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion.
Concerto.
He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator. Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why
Yes.
suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's?
I don't know.
The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He
Before-
knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
It just loads. It just loads.
said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Oh, I didn't see that. Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great. Do not stand on this side of fence. Whoa.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Feature keynote speaker, the Lord plus meet and greet. Leave the guy who went to Mars. Oh, conversation with sounds great. Okay. Oh, okay. So we have like 3s. The books say the same. So the remaining endings have you taking the bucket through the window. Ah, okay. Falling off the mind control facility and going down the path of the yellow line. Then you have to restart the game. Okay, fine. So pretty much things that I have done already.
Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak.
Oh no.
To listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Wait. There was some dialogue about the bucket. I don't know.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket
I don't know if it's
did
doing
he have any
anything.
notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845.
I don't think it's... I don't know. Or maybe it's during the epilogue, you mean?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless,
Okay.
since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay, I'll wait.
2845. But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
3 should be here. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one more time or 2 more times, but I don't think it's doing a thing. Bro, I pressed... I don't think it does. Dun 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 dun.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped,
Wait.
monitored like guinea pigs.
Wait.
The
It was
bucket
here.
had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Hold on. How did I do this last time? Or did I try with it? Oh. Whee!
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Of course.
Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending.
I've lost, but
It's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
The fact that what a dialogue quickly appears and then it goes away.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his eager... Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Oh, how did I do this? Okay, there we go. We're on the... yeah. 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 There we go.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
said the bucket.
No.
Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid!
Stanley said calmly.
You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form,
Oh,
transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages.
Emblems
and
of
used the incantations
sages.
to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed
The
by
windows
the bucket's
are no
power.
longer here.
I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
That was a great one. Dumbledore, is that you? Yeah, like he said calmly. Okay, the other one. What was it? What was the path to the yellow line? I've forgotten
Wait,
about.
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
The orders? You mean the phone? Right door, then the door to your left. Oh, of course, of course, of course.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Yeah, you're so right, you're so right.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place
Oh, the baby again.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Why is this glowing? Whatever.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Not the bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the
No,
bucket.
not the bucket.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
Wait,
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
what is the bucket destroyer?
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality
The bucket is
trait.
going to call back to the
Sure,
companion
I can
cube from
hear you
Portal.
saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it for the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So that's from the mini. Restart the game a few times for the epilogue. Okay. You mean begin the game again? It won't erase everything that I've done, right? No. It's just if you get stuck on a... I remember something where you don't leave room 247 and something happens. Am I correct? I already did that. You can't do that with the bucket. Oh, I closed the game. Fine, I closed the game. Game closed. Take some time because of Steam. Great, you said an actual time and not just 12. For a minute there, I was worried that you weren't taking all of this seriously, but you've proven me wrong. Of course, I guess I have no way of knowing whether 12:59 a.m. is even the correct night. No, it's not. Heck, for all I know, it could actually be 12 right now. Tell you what, let's use another slider to get to the bottom of this. How accurate is 12:59 a.m.? You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting the settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be said. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Okay. So, do I begin and then close it again? Or I just quit the desktop? Or what do I do? Fine. Oh. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Okay, so like, this is not a number. We can agree on that, right? Well, we can agree on this being a number. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Which of the two made-up words below is most appealing to you? Ocuboinkle or Scrumtush? Please don't adjust the slider. Do you know what time is it right now? Yeah. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? No. What is time anyway? Yes. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yeah. Help. No. Will you come back to visit me? Yeah. So I do this again, right? I do it again, right? Okay. Crows, crows, crows. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I have adjusted all of the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you, and you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsuitable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me Really? I saw 12 o'clock at a clock at the beginning. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. Not really. You like being alone, don't you? No. That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Talk soon. Embrace the lag, boys. Let's go to the sun. Oh, too late. I didn't step on the fire. Sorry, so sorry. The transitions are synced with the music. Yes, they are. No matter how you move, it just changes at a specific cue. Yeah, they do. A Visitor to a Museum 1989. The Stanley Parable 2, posted on April 27 by Cookie9. Oh, thank you, Mithil. I was actually feeling weird. Oh, my shoulders. My shoulders cracked in such a bizarre fashion. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was actually needed. Yeah. I'll stretch. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. The isn't the most beautiful feeling when your back cracks, you know? Oh. That was actually more necessary than I thought. Oh, look at the recent posts. Review the Stanley Parable 2. Sorry, I haven't been blogging too much. Review SNR. What's SNRAF3? Protected post. Thank you for hydration. I needed that. Cookie's Corner. We need to talk about sequels. Recent comments. Go Guy on Review the Stanley Parable 2. Peace Order. Boblin, Go Guy. Okay. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fanbase. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting, a welcome reprieve from blood. It's like it's already anticipating the reviews it will have from haters, you know? Oh, the name buttons. Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs, no more sequels. By Sneep Swimmy, or Swimmy, July 9. Get on the green. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, reads the press release. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been further from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Lowest aggregate review scores in video game history. Second whatever.
Jim. 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 Jim.
That's me.
Jim. 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 Jim.
Wait, I'm lost now.
Jim.
Wait, okay, so I should follow the... Hold on, there's more Jim buttons.
Stanley.
Oh!
Stanley. Jim. Stanley. Stanley.
Ooh, Stanley button. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Hello again. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense! Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together we're going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also really need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Sounds like Marvel movies or Star Wars. Yeah, pretty much, yes. Especially the last three, which are among the worst films ever, you know. Okay, so Saturday Night, Temple of Spectacular, Legend of, In Search for Infinite. Okay, so I need to choose. What does the chat votes for? How should the Stanley Parable 3 be titled? What about Saturday Night Stapler? Or Spectacular no, Temple of Baby sounds based. Infinite Baby. It's absurd. I love it. Stapler. Oh, sorry. Too late. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1 and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more constant sounds like work, no need to do that. It'll just be the same content, recycle again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Good, then it's agreed, a new sequel every time you start a game. And you know what? Since you put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We are in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Fine. I'll put 13:34. 35 I'll put. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. Bro, it's Stanley Parable 3 Infinite, baby.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company.
I'll skip this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content? Like... okay. You can unlock that achievement now, and you should try and get the settings world champion, which requires you to mess around with all the settings in the game. Okay. Is this the correct way? It is, right? Should I take my bucket? Le bucket. Should I take the bucket to the new content?
Stanley's bucket. The only co-worker he would... Oh! New content? What does that mean, new content?
It's not giving me the explanation again, right? It is giving me the explanation again.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Wait, Stanley, I've just now realized. That bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel. How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel?
I don't
have the bucket
know.
already. This makes no sense at
Oh,
all.
this is so great. I'm so glad I'd say I took the bucket.
Hold on. Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel?
No.
I don't remember doing that at all.
No, you didn't.
You're
no.
seeing things all out of order.
I'm not. Oh, the answer. Yeah, the exit is MIB styled.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
Yes, it is. I don't have jumps.
The infinite hole, the giant door. Did you see them already?
I don't know what they're talking
none
about.
of them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game?
Well, it's not a sequel. Oh, the exit is on the back. Oh, look at this. Thank you for playing the new content.
Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly. Yes, you carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable. Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you, clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win.
Wait. I'm back at the beginning.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Can I go? What should I do? Go back there again?
Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, no, surely not.
Okay, no dialogue this time. This is the correct way, right? Again. Okay. I thought so. Because the dialogue wasn't repeated when I entered the room. So it's gonna skip the whole explanation again. I know, okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Nothing's changed from the last... Yeah, no.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me? Stanley!
Oh no!
Thank God, I didn't lose you. Stanley, the power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day
No, mi bucket.
you can forgive me.
Buckets are too powerful for this universe.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, Stepniece.
I did it
is.
again.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Yay! Achievement unlocked.
As you
Test
can
achievement,
see,
please
the
ignore.
machine is not working yet since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement?
Yeah, I did.
Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago.
It's not
Who
anymore.
fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended.
Of course.
It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
So adjust
What
all
else?
of your settings.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
So adjust all of your settings until you unlock. Español. Opacidad de fondo de etiquetas traducidas, mostrar etiquetas de colores, mostrar advertencias de contenido. Sonido, todo en 100. Should I change this?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the
I hope I'm doing this right. Video. No. Window, full screen. Oh, I don't want to change that. Move all the settings. I'm making a mess. I'm making this unplayable. Wait, what did I do? Oh no, I got out. Damn. This settings thinks. Hold on, did I just erase everything? Don't tell me I erased everything. Did I just erase everything, man? Don't tell me I erased everything. Please don't tell me I erased anything. No! I erased everything. God. Why did I choose Russian? Bro, I'll never. Oh, this is not fair, man. This is not fair, man. What the hell did I choose? Oh no! No, 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 no. And then what did I do? Oh, I chose yes. Ah, oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm ending the stream. This is the worst ending ever. Yes, I want to default everything. Bro! No, I won't. I won't play it again. I will leave that task to my younger brother. He also needs to play this game. It's all your fault. It's all your fault, Seventh. That's what happens when you mess with things. Well, it ends here. It ends here. It ends here. Oh, I was so bad. That it was so great with the Infinite Baby. I wanted to explore the rest. I wanted to explore the rest of the Infinity Hole and so many things that weren't finished. Oh no, man. I am sad. I am so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. I won't play it again. I mean, yeah, I understand Spanish. I didn't test for that. I don't care anymore. I'm so pissed. I'm really pissed. Oh, gotta be careful. Thanks for the tip. Screw this. Screw this. This is the worst ending ever. Yeah, I suppose I beat the game, but I wanted to explore the launch of the sequel with the bucket. Well, I wanted to see the Infinity Hole. I wanted to see many things. All right, all right. I'm pissed. I'm getting out of hell. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. God. I should have thought about choosing Russian, man. I don't think anyone online right now. Deleting your save file is the most Stanley parable thing you could have done. I don't know. I don't know about that. I actually the entire thing was about not deleting it, but keep progressing. I mean, it was meant to be deleted because my brother wants to play this. So I'll have to wait. And I'll see him playing. Yeah.
I feel like for Sims to get the best
Well, F. I'm so pissed. I'm so angry. I'll take one of the raid recommendations that Jamie once said. At least everything was recorded, and I hope that the occasional lurkers, the silent lurkers, and active viewers actually enjoyed. I really hope they actually enjoy that. I hope they enjoy that. Thanks for the intentional backseating. The storytelling parody ending was actually really genius. It'll sink in. I had a great time, but it was just like a kick in the groin and a slap to the face. I won't mess ever with the settings again. Right, so if someone actually asks or maybe redeems it, I don't know. I could write a review for that. I've never reviewed any game except fan games, which is actually ironic. I could make a review, or I could just comment on it on the next stream live. So next one is Hollow Knight, in which I won't accidentally delete my game because of trying to make an achievement. So it will be Hollow Knight, and the third one was Celeste, right? So that should be tons of fun, especially for Jamie, who begged for it forever. Okay, so have a better Sunday than I did. Thank you for everything.